My never say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there. O see them yopo.
About to do and it's dangerous no in our politics today. Now, Jane Mensah today as we speak. Sorry. Jane Mensah today as we speak. Nipa 6 ananka was every electoral polling area, polling station also more. Jane Mensah has done something. Now, the Electoral Commission of Ghana, director training. Now, Sawusha, first list na me catch on. In fact, let me put the first list on. Na me fan top side by side. Na me explaining cho ye na monte ase. You see, the green one no. O share officers na almost no officers almost 6 at a particular police station. We have the presiding officer, your the name reference list officer, your verification officer, ballot issuer 1 and ballot issuer 2, and your COVID-19 then ambassador. Now see, the Jane Mensah and say assemblyman any unit committee elections are no why BB and it's dangerous a technical on your faster. Now presiding officer no position no we keep it right. And so oba the other part. So okay, first one now you could see say the first name no presiding officer. Now oba this 2023 document what right I make sure now there's presiding officer there. Now oko the second one with green this way you will see name reference list officer. Now about 2023 paper no so the white one there is nothing like name reference officer. Now, Osako Wedima, you will see say Nanka say your verification officer. Oko Greener, there's verification officer and there's verification officer here. Now, ballot issuer, omuye 2. Now, so about the new one, white one, assemblyman election the ballot issuer 1. Now, Oba Sewa actual key trainer, which is not important. Now, what Jane Mensah has done and say, presiding officer. Anko say Nejumane say you're in charge of everything there. He needs to be paying attention and going everywhere and making sure no. Now presiding officer no. Ejuma was a reference list officer no. Jane Mensah just said Ejuma said they are my returning officer. So technically, the returning officer who is supposed to be sitting and monitoring the process, the returning officer will now have to go and also be doing the work of the reference list officer, name reference list officer. Until right now, we don't have a returning officer, or better now, sorry, presiding officer. I'm sorry. Presiding officer also on the boss there to make sure say KOCBC process when koye or be make sure to nyamano. Say a presiding officer no, Jane Mensah name reference officer list officer na also check his name no we ye fuo and all this responsibility no akoma presiding officer. Now sir presiding officer no he needs to have an overall roller or check bibian right. He has to be sitting at one place and doing the job somebody is supposed to do. Now Jane Mensah AKP verification officer, the trick she has done and say ballot issuers 2 no se no assemblyman elections where you benya ballot issuer 1. You been 1 pair. Remember, election now mokoye no assemblyman no enye assemblyman nkwa o. Yeah, assemblyman any unit committee members so election at the same time. Now so offer one ballot issuer officer pair baako pair betena wa. Now it means say that person who is the issuer what he's going to do is say Sani Pabakuna will have the assemblyman ballot papers and he will have the unit committee so papers in him. Now this same person I was say assemblyman ne man Pabako no koba no asati a unit committee. The probability say obi oti assemblyman man no ko no ba obesati the assemblyman amani pano. Or the probability too will be that say easy official has been compromised. All that he has to do is say so once asimesi or boy MPP ni or assemblyman we are he will tear bear 3 or better bear 3 at the money panel say onkoto or we are not sadi panasaba say oba beto a unit committee there no or betuma sat 3 amani panel. The reason why we have single a ballot issuer officers and say send your beya, there will not be overvoting. Send your beya, the process will be transparent. Send your beya, every single contest will stand on its own. In this West Stadia, so to a baby, say nipa 7 and 7 categories are your 7 issuer seven issuer officers. Now Mensah, what she's trying to do now with this assemblyman election and say, or the only one issuer officer and a 2 papers. So when you come, all that you do is say, so we are MPP near Oba, say officer not one or a compromise that all that he has to do, or better a MPP, or better MPP, no better 3 amount. Oko now Oba now because first one out here no na enye assemblyman what unit committee interfere na meba beji assemblyman no sa nipa no ebeti another assemblyman 3 ama nipa no ama na sa akoto ama nipa bako. So what is going to happen is it's going to bring a lot of chaos when the counting begins, because there will be overvoting, and then at the end of the day no, if the party crona yetiti no oni anwoden, what they are going to say, they are going to push it through and say obi winning. Now Mensah wants to test this our assemblyman and it's na way one a ballot issuer officer if you right now a juma was say the mienu year a dangerous a serious no Mensah mom e de amani pa baako inti pa baako to e na nipa 300 aso line and a sa nipa baako no e wo se ote assemblyman manipa no e ma ne koba na wasa ba nipa na sa ko di line so na wasa te a unit committee. The probability say obe over tear paper and give to a particular person or obe under. So this is what Mensah and Bossman person here. And this thing you are seeing, it's a joke, no, it is not a joke. So on the side process we call bantama, if there's one officer on a basically ballot issuer, that's say MPP ni and on a tip pana MPP ni be or tip presidential beti 8 the amano se kokoto or 2 year or ba or see me saba beji parliamentary no at 8 amano. You can see say there will be less people voting at the polling station, but they will get more numbers at the end of the day. So the number of people who vote at the end of the day, you could see say it will not reflect the number of people who came to vote. And this is what Mensah is going to test. And the chaos are eba besi sa assemblyman any unit committee election been si Ghana da. And there are people at the EC. Mensah said this is wrong. Now see MPP election we saw a yet one time our executives there no mukai and into the process near tintino. If we say every polling center or park in this be one person or issue a ballot paper in the social categories now yet to a organizer, women's organizer, national organizer, they all had a particular place they were voting because there was one person who was issuing one thing into or issue a organizer one person does not issue 2 categories. Because the person might miscount the people. The person, you give the person the room to do what? To tier more than he's supposed to tier for one person. So this is something that has to stop even before this assemblyman elections happen. Mensah is supposed to provide every polling station with 2 ballot issuers. You don't have to have one ballot issuer sitting and issuing ballots from 2 categories to people. Because if you allow that to happen, then they are going to rig the elections to the point whereby we will be in Ghana and be like, how? And until the MPP for your confident to say 2024 they will win, because this is the strategy and this is what they are going to do now. Almost testing way no more test system now. We need to stop this. In the assemblyman and unit committee election, we need 2 people to issue their ballot papers. We are not supposed to get only one person to be doing that job. It's what Mensah is doing here. I'm cutting costs, but no, she is basically tweaking the process. And she will come to parliament and tell them, say, this is what she wants to do in election 2024. So the NDC needs to stand up and tell her no. Because from Afarijan to Charlotte say to Mensah 2020, this is how the process has been. And this is the only way that political parties can monitor the vote cast, the number of sheets given to somebody. So Mensah and Bossman, this is something they want to introduce into election 2024 elections. This is the plan. And it's in our Ashanti region. Sometimes you see say numbers no calculate here. It is more than nipa omotoaba, and that is what they do. Oko bantama, oko kwabre, omoko tenawa. Yes, oh, one officer. Oh, wait, and paper na sound. We na ye jumano into wenkwa neti or titre. But say 2 people doing bako ye MP, bako ye presidential. Na NDC regional. Oni say oti bako manipa bako on to imabiem.
Dedi kama mamena Pendream TV ase. Na so far so good. Say open online portal e wo Ghana. Ah nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, Pendream TV.